So I pay $1,500 a month in student loan payments. Most of it interest. Yay!
This is how much money I owe in student debt for my physician assistant degree.
Student loan crashouts all across the Western world. What is going on with student loan debt? I think it's a massive bubble, might even be a bigger bubble than the housing bubble of 2008 that ultimately almost took down the global economy. Why is this the case, and why do I say this? Because I've been watching videos of students who have between $50,000 to over $100,000 in student loan debt, and some of them have no intentions of paying it back. And ultimately, you're paying for student loans to enter a job market that is more uncertain than ever before because of AI and changing industries. It's a gamble, really, to take student loans, and ultimately, a lot of those gambles are not paying off, and we're going to talk about it in today's video. With that being said, let's dive into it today.
So I pay $1,500 a month in student loan payments. Most of it interest. Yay! Go America! And I've decided to crash out about that because I'm so done. I have 2 loans that are about 9% interest, and those total to like almost $600 a month. And then I have another loan that is a lower interest that actually is going down, but that loan is only at like $4,500 now because I've paid it down. The other loan is like $34,000. The 9% one. Yes, thank you to my parents, thank you to everyone that made that possible, and for dummy for thinking that that was like totally normal. So yeah, I want to pay those off, but I don't want to spend more of my money paying those off, so I legit think I'm gonna get a second job to advance pay my student loans. I hate it here, but then girl math, I'm like, well, if I'm no longer paying $1,500 a month, I could like literally rent an apartment in Paris or something. So that's the goal. And then I said, that's totally what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move to Paris because I gotta get out of here, and I love Paris. And my family's from Croatia, so I'll be closer to Croatia. My sister will still live here, so I could see her in New York. The best of both worlds. So what did I do? I downloaded an app to teach myself French. Did I pay for 1 month? No. Did I pay for 2 months of this app? No. I paid for 6 months of this app. It's my brain is big. I'm focused on my goals. I already know. Ça va? Salut! Salut, ça va? Merci. Bonjour. Au revoir. So yeah.
I don't know if she has any intentions on fully paying those student loan payments back, because ultimately, if your goal is just to go to another country and stay there for as long as you can, I don't know if you're born independently wealthy. I don't think that would be the case, though, because if you were born independently wealthy, you wouldn't need student loans. So I think this bubble is getting bigger.
I plan on paying back my student loans, and I'm avoiding paying them by being in school. As long as you are enrolled in a degree-seeking or certificate-seeking program with at least 6 credits or more, you do not have to make a student loan payment.
Good to know, I guess. I did not know that. I never took any student loans, though. I just went to cheap colleges that I ultimately paid for myself with summer jobs. But a lot of people go to universities or they go to expensive colleges that you kind of need. And again, unless you're born independently wealthy, like your parents have a lot of money, you're going to have to do the student loan route. And ultimately, it's a gamble that, again, is not going to pay off for a lot of people, especially because a lot of people take degrees and courses that are ultimately either meaningless or they're not really going to benefit the economy in the future.
I'm nearly £100,000 in debt, and every year I pay thousands and thousands of pounds towards that debt. But last year alone, the interest added to this debt was almost 3 times what I paid off. And this isn't credit cards, it's not lifestyle debt, I wasn't reckless. It's my student loan. Based on what I am currently paying off, and I'm probably going to end up paying more than this, and the fact that currently interest is based on RPI, which is inflation, plus 3%, By the time that I'm 50, I will have paid nearly £50,000 towards my student loan, which is more than I took out for the student loan anyway, but my remaining balance is going to be nearly £260,000. That is bonkers. What is the logic in paying towards a debt that's never designed to go down? And I am especially in this position because I came from a very low income background. I didn't have family money to fall back on, and I had to take the full maintenance loan, and I had to take out hardship loans just to get through university. And I worked 3 jobs whilst I was studying, and the maintenance grant was scrapped just as I started university. So the support disappeared and the debt basically replaced it. Now, I know what some of you are going to say. Some people are going to say, well, this is a different kind of debt to others. That's true. It's not like credit card debt. Others are going to say, well, you knew what you were getting into. But I don't agree with that. It wasn't properly explained to us, and university was kind of just the thing that you did, and it was really heavily pushed on us during A-levels without alternatives really being explored or encouraged. But the reality is that people from lower income backgrounds end up repaying this through their paychecks far longer than people from more affluent backgrounds because they had to borrow more to survive. I couldn't have gone to university without getting into debt. And that doesn't sit right with me, and I don't think it should sit right with you either. Now, a lot of people are waking up to how unfair the student loan system is. Some people are calling for the interest to be completely scrapped. Some people are calling for the entire system to be scrapped. So, I put the question to you. What do you think should happen?
Ultimately, I think that schools need to be way cheaper if you really want people to go and get educated there, because at the end of the day, as the economy is changing and changing faster than ever before because of industries being disrupted by AI, a lot of people are ultimately deciding to not go to post-secondary school at all. I think enrollments across the Western world are declining, and rightfully so, especially because of the tuition fees and the fact that a lot of these jobs are not going to exist in the future, which is another scary topic, but something that you should definitely consider if you are thinking about taking on massive debt just to go to school.
Today I'm trying something new. This is my last ditch effort. I am drowning in student debt. I have over $75,000 in student debt, and I'm not even done with school. Please stay to the end of this video, as it would help me tremendously. So here's what I'm doing. I saw this girl who paid off all of her student loans, all of her debt, all from filming TikTok videos. How crazy is that? I decided, why not give it a try? So all I need to do is post at least 1 minute long videos. Those qualify for like a paycheck. This is episode 1 of trying to pay off my student loans.
Oh my god. Oh my god, this is what the world has come to. You know what's funny? Here in Canada, unfortunately, we don't have that. We don't have that luxury because we can't monetize TikTok content in Canada, where I am. The only thing you can monetize is YouTube, and that's pretty much the only place to go in Canada if you are a content creator. So interesting to see that. That's probably why there's so many more content creators and so much more TikToks ultimately being pushed out from the United States, is because there's a financial incentive as well. But crazy, I didn't know that, but you know, more power to you. If you can find a way to pay your student loan debts through TikTok, congratulations, because God knows a few people need a win in this life.
Hey, so this is probably the most vulnerable post I will have ever made in the history of time. And for those of you who this little blue halo is already triggering you, I'm so sorry. But I'm gonna hopefully make you feel better, and I'm honestly having a weekly crash out. I need help from you as well. This is how much money I owe in student debt for my physician assistant degree. And before you go ahead and take out the phrase that is so commonly used, oh, but you knew how much you were taking out in the beginning. No, a lot of this has to do with interest alone accruing, while I am in a hell of a limbo of what we like to call administrative forbearance, trying to get into the SAVE plan. So I worked with a student loan counselor after I graduated, and I was told to consolidate all of my Direct Plus grad student loans to be one loan so that I could apply to the SAVE repayment plan. Right as soon as I started and submitted my application was when all of the chaos happened in the courts, where they just can't get their head out of their ass and figure out what they're doing. And so I never actually got into the SAVE plan. And so I have been accruing interest at a 7% rate. I've not had to pay my monthly payment. My monthly payment has been $0 because of a previous tax return when I was making $0 income as a student. But still, this amount is a literal noose around my neck. And I don't think I will ever pay this off. I fear that I will not be able to ever own a home as someone still earning 6 figures salary. Let alone children. I would love and aspire to have a child someday, but this really, I don't want to say like makes me suicidal, but like it truly makes it really hard to get out of bed every morning. And I know I'm not alone. I know I don't even have it that bad. But I'm truly asking as a cry for help, like how you compartmentalize the stress of something like this, knowing that you'll never, ever get out of debt, because it would take an act of God to take this amount away. And people repay the principal loan multiple times over in situations like me, but they never get rid of their debt because of the system at hand. And that is what is so fucked about student loans for people in advanced degrees like doctor, nurse, anesthetist, nurse practitioner, physician assistant. What else can I think of? Any degree program that takes multiple, loans and at least 6 figures to take out to go to these programs. And I did this to get a better life for myself, get a salary that actually amounted to something for my future family. And yet this is what happened. And a lot of it wasn't even the fault of my own, because I had no way of predicting that this would happen. I had no way of knowing that SAVE would not be around in the future. PSLF is my only option. I do work at a 501c3, but even then, the payment is like pushing almost $1,000 a month, and that will soon become even unaffordable for me. So yeah, I'm literally at a loss.
So what ultimately is going to happen here? Because this bubble is just getting bigger and bigger, and I feel like a lot of people, they're either going to be completely unable to pay it back. There's also other people who just say screw it and they're not intending on paying it back at all. And I kind of don't blame them, because the economy and job market is going to be brutal in the future. But ultimately, this was a gamble that they made, so who knows how the future is going to play out here. But I completely understand and I validate their crash outs, because I would be crashing out too if I was in any of their situations. Leave your thoughts about this video down below in the comment section, guys. Have you taken on student loans before? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.